Ooh, happy to have you back on our daily reading exercise. Is it daily? No. We'll try to make it daily because that is our target, and without it, we won't be able to achieve our long life and long term ambitions. And what are those? To pronounce as clear as a native English speaker. Yes, a long road, but we'll achieve it. Yes. Living fossils. Fossils cannot come to life, of course, but the close similarity of extant organisms to extinct ones has led to the concept of living fossils. This applies to plants and animals, but caution is needed when drawing conclusions from what may be misleading superficial comparisons. The term living fossils is something of a misnomer. Its usual implication is that exactly the same kind of plant or animal which was alive millions of years ago is still alive today. Okay, so we are talking about those fossils who actually existed, not existed, have been existing millions of years ago, and even now you can see it. Yeah, that's nature, probably they survived. Usually it is a member of the same group which survives, such as family or genus, rather than the actual species. Okay, there's the twist. Not necessarily that same species surviving, that same specimen. Actually, it can be a member of that family, but it happens to be existing in present era. Yeah. However, the survivors are largely unchanged from their cousins of millions of years ago. There's not much change. Horsetails. The simple flowerless plants called horsetails include the genus Echinacea. With about 20 species around the world, they are common weeds of disturbed ground, each with a tall stem bearing also slim leaves like the ribs on an upside-down umbrella. Horsetails belongs to the plant group called Sphenopsids. They are far larger and more common in ancient times. The types such as ecositides, asterophylites, and calamites. Their growth formed much of the vast Carboniferous forest and became preserved in coal. Maidenhairs. The maidenhair tree Ginkgo biloba is the only living species of a large group that flourished from the early Permian through the Tertiary periods. Ginkgos were especially common during the Jurassic when giant dinosaurs walked among them and browsed their leaves. Today's maidenhair tree grows to 30 meter in height. 30 meter, wow, and has the characteristic of fan-shaped leaves of its group. It was cultivated in the gardens of palaces and temples of ancient China. Its geographical home. In the early 18th century, it was discovered by European plant collectors and is now an ornamental park and street tree in many parts of the world. Magnolias, yeah, mistake. The group known as angiosperms are flowering plants, which today includes familiar flowers, herbs, blossoms, and broadleaf or deciduous trees, arose in the Cretaceous period. Among the early types were magnolias dating back more than 110 million years. Today's main ornamental types, with their large, white, and perhaps pink-tinged early blossoms, are derived from ancient Chinese species. Other flowers and trees which have changed little since Cretaceous times include water lilies, planes, and laurels. Limb shells. From the outside, a limb shell or brachiopod looks similar to a bivalve mollusk such as mussel, clam, or oyster. However, the two are very different. Limb shells have been around since the Cambrian period, more than 500 million years ago. Their two shells are usually very similar, but one is larger than the other, and each shell is symmetrical from side to side, unlike most bivalves. More than 30,000 kind of fossil limb shell are known. There are 350 living species, and most, such as Lingula, are filter feeders in the deep sea. Nautiluses. The few living species of pearly nautilus, including Nautilus pompilus, are the only remnants of vast groups of mollusks that were very common predators in Paleozoic seas. Today's living nautiluses are large-eyed, curly-shelled, many-tentacled hunters of fish and other prey. They dwell in the deep sea, but there were more than 2,500 prehistoric types, including straight-shelled nautiluses more than 5 meters long. Nautiloids are sometimes confused with ammonoids and belemnoids, which were also cephaloids. Mollusks and also extinct. Their living cousins are octopus, squid, and cuttlefish. Totaras. The totara resembles an iguana lizard, but it belongs to a very different group of reptiles called rhinocephalanians, which thrived at the time of early dinosaurs, some 250 to 200 million years ago in the Triassic period. Rhinocephalians, like Scaphonyx of the Middle Triassic, were bulky planktons, almost 2 meters long, weighing nearly 100 kgs, and only two tortoise species now survive on rocky islands off the coast of New Zealand. They grow to about 60 meters long and come out of their burrows at night to feed on worms, insects, and spiders. An extinct species returns to life. The coelacanths, apologies for this bad pronunciation, are bonyfish which have lobe fins, a fleshy muscular base, a stalked each fin. They belong to the group Cercosporidae in contrast to the Actinogenidae or ray fins, the groups that contains the vast majority of bonyfish. It first appeared way back in the Devonian period. I first came across this term Devonian when I was preparing a journal presentation in my final years of graduation. They had us the freedom, they gave us the freedom to present on any topic, and the evolution of life is one of the best. Thought to be extinct from about 70 million years ago, a living coelacanth was caught off the coast of East Africa in 1938. Several specimens have been obtained since. A second species, the Indonesian coelacanth, was discovered in the late 1990s. These fish grow to about 1.8 meter, live in deep water, eat crab and similar prey, and have a curious three-lobed tail. Below. Oh yeah, I haven't seen so. Three. Are you able to see? These fish grow to about 1.8 meter long, live in deep waters, eat crab and similar prey, and have a curious three-lobed tail. So that's all from our reading exercise today. Hope you're having a good time. We'll keep working on our daily pledges without giving up. There you go. All the best.